Welcome into a fresh new hour of CBS Sports HQ. I'm Jordan Giorgio, Jacqueline D'Agostino. How are we feeling? New looks this afternoon. Take a look at the shot. You feeling it?
Yeah, it's giving like school announcements, but we're gonna crush it.
Okay, I love it. New looks for week 14 of the NFL season, and this playoff picture is starting to take some shape.
Yes, exactly. And so we know there are the teams that are most likely gonna get in, and then we have the teams that are on the struggle bus, which is absolutely not where you want to be at this point of the season in mid-December. And yes, blink twice, like open your eyes, the Chiefs and the Ravens are on the struggle bus. We also have the Eagles and the Bucks on there. Teams that to start the season or in the preseason, if we had to predict who was going to be on the struggle bus as we sit on December 10th, I don't think it would have been any of these teams really, but hey, here we are.
It feels like we're in an alternate universe right now, that's for sure. Let's welcome you back inside our CBS Sports HQ studios. We are joined by Douzable and Logan Ryan. You guys, we're going to go through all these teams that are on losing streaks right now, on the struggle bus, if you will. And you're going to tell us what they need to do to fix / save their season. Let's start with those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've lost 4 of their last 5 of their last 7 games. What's the biggest issue right now holding this team back, Logan?
Health and availability. I mean, they have been banged up, and Baker Mayfield has done his best MVP impersonation as long as he could this season to try to keep them together. Then I think he's been kind of banged up himself, playing through a left shoulder injury, and probably many others. I mean, he's one of the toughest guys I competed against in the NFL with just how he plays and his ability to be so tough. And he's kind of that personality that he brings, that grit that he brings. But with Mike Evans potentially coming back, that slides Mbuka down maybe to that 2 role, so they're not asking that rookie receiver to do too much. Chris Godwin's getting healthier by the week. Remember, he came off a catastrophic leg injury last year. So the health and availability of their players, they need them back like yesterday. They need them back like this week.
Yeah, that's been the biggest thing. And to your point, Logan, you can tell Baker clearly is not healthy. Going back to that Rams game where he injured that left shoulder, couldn't even make a throw at the end of the half. It was so much pain that he literally fell to the ground and didn't come back in that game. So the continuity between him and the receivers has been off because look at all these guys that are hurt. Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan's missed the entire season. Remember, we thought he was going to take a second-year leap. And then that's probably the best left tackle in football.
Oh, yeah.
And when you don't have them, not only does it affect the pass game because guys are able to get after you pass rush-wise, but the run game as well because he's so physically dominating in the run game. You know another thing that's kind of plagued them, Logan? When you look at their first 6 games, right? They were dominant stopping the run on defense, right? They were holding teams to around 3.8 yards per carry. When you talked about it, Jordan, they've lost 5 of the last 7, and these last couple games, they've been kind of leaky against the run, right? They're giving up around 4.5 yards a carry. That tends to add up, and it wears on the defense. The thing is, if Villa Vea isn't making plays in the middle, they struggle to stop the run. So I think they have to be significantly better stopping the run because of all the ailments and injuries on the offensive side.
I feel like I'm getting deja vu because last year we were talking about the Bucks, all the injuries, all the things as well. I want to keep it in the NFC and talking about the Eagles because they're the 3 seed on the NFC side of things when it comes to the playoffs. But I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a quarterback throw an interception and have a fumble within the same play going up against the Chargers. That was absolutely insane. So, Lige, is it just the quarterback or what are the other issues? Because people love to pin it on Jalen Hurts, you know?
Which is utterly ridiculous because, Logan, going into that game, the man had 3 total turnovers for the entire season. And when you look at it, it's play calling. Logan, do you know when Jalen Hurts attempts 33-plus passing attempts, they're 0-5 this year. It's not a positive script for the Eagles. That's not how they're bred, right? Their identity has always been running the football. And in this last game versus the Chargers, they finally got the run game going. But you know what, Logan?
They could run the ball.
Yeah, but you know what, Logan? They kept throwing the football. I just don't understand it. And again, this sometimes happens with a first-time play caller in Kevin Petula, trying to figure out what the identity of the team is. And you see it right there the last 2 weeks. He has 7 turnovers compared to only having 3 the first 11 weeks of the season. And in this last game, he wasn't seeing the field right well, Logan. There were guys open, but again, I'm not going to put it on him alone. Now, he does bear some of the brunt for the turnovers, but run the football. Like Saquon Barkley had just broken off a 50-plus yard run. You have an opportunity to go up on the Chargers 2 scores, and you come out the next drive and throw 2 passes. One was a little high to A.J. Brown that probably should have been caught, but my thing is, why aren't you leaning on the run game? That has been the issue for this team. It is the play calling. People can put it all on Jalen Hurts, but there has to be a nice balance. Again, I'm going to give you the stat one more time. When he attempts 33 or more pass attempts, the Eagles are 0-5. And they need to get him involved in the run game as well.
Logan's just here.
I agree with the point that he said. The Eagles returned everyone back from last year, right? Except for the play caller.
Yep.
Kellen
and
Moore,
one guard, that's it.
Right, and Kellen Moore's on a different team now. He's the head coach of the Saints. So that is the biggest change. Why you have Jalen Hurts in the shotgun as much as you do,
insane.
Why you're not turning the ball around and really trying to utilize Saquon Barkley 20, 30 plus times a game. I mean, he's one of the most explosive runners, had one of the best rushing seasons we've ever seen in the history of the NFL. Make it simple. They have so many mouths to feed over there, and they track touches. And that cannot happen when you're trying to win football games. So put Jalen Hurts under center, run the ball to Saquon Barkley, commit to that.
Facts.
Commit to the wide receivers blocking. And then you run the play action. Then you get A.J. Brown across the middle. Then you get Smitty on a deep ball.
Correct.
But they have so many mouths to feed. I don't know if Jalen Hurts wants to operate in a shotgun or not. I really don't. I'm not in that meeting room with them. But what they're doing right now is too easy to defend.
It feels like the answer is an easy one. It doesn't.
You would
really
think
make
so,
sense.
right?
Yeah, you would think. I guess to us at least. Let's get to the AFC now. The Baltimore Ravens were looking like a team that was going to run away with the AFC North title, but after 2 straight division losses, we are unsure if this team is even going to make the playoffs right now. What do you need to see, Leger, to be convinced that this team's season is salvageable right now?
And even when they were on their 5-game win streak, the offense was kind of spotty, right? We can tell that Lamar's truly not healthy. Now, we finally saw the last 3 quarters of this last game, him starting to use his mobility, and it looked well. Obviously, the Isaiah Likely fumbles at the goal line were monumental because things could be the other way. They could have won those last 2 games and have secured the AFC, essentially secured the AFC North. But you know what? Another thing that has plagued them the last couple of weeks, Logan? Their defense has not been good the last 2 weeks. On that 5-game win streak, going back to the Bears, they were essentially the #1 defense for a 5-game span in almost every defensive statistical category. The last 2 weeks, they've been giving up coverage busts. They haven't been able to get after the passer, and they've even struggled stopping the run at times. So it's just like complementary football is what has kind of plagued this team over the last couple weeks. And you see right there, the remaining schedule. I don't know if they can overcome this, Logan, because they've given the Steelers so much wiggle room now. Now you still have games against the Patriots vying for the #1 seed. The Packers vying for the #1 seed. The Steelers vying for this division. Can they catch the Steelers? I don't think they can.
Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens, the word for me is they got to remember who they are. Like, this whole season has been off track for them. Started slow, fumbles early in the year from Derrick Henry. Then Lamar Jackson's been injured all year. Hamstring, foot, ankle. He's been dealing with ailments, and it looks like that. He's not running the ball the same. He's not being as dynamic. I played against the guy, and I didn't play against prime Michael Vick, but I was probably the closest thing to it, if not better. It was a problem. And you see right here with the before and after of the injury, they are down. Yards per rush is down by half, right? So, to me, they got to go say, all right, this was my preseason Super Bowl pick.
Mine too.
This was, I mean, that struggle bus was like my AFC NFC championship, honestly, as much as I know. But this was everyone's preseason pick. They have the star players, Roquan Smith. They have Marlon Humphrey. They have Kyle Hamilton. They have Derrick Henry still. They got DeAndre Hopkins. They have Zay Flowers. Get it done. Right? Now the time of year, lock in, remember who you are, play physical football. The defense hasn't played physical all year. They have not ran the ball over people all year. Go to physical football. Be old school Baltimore Ravens football. Doesn't have to be flashy and pretty. Remember who you are and start playing tougher.
Do you believe it's too late for them?
This game right here is going to, if they let the Bengals.
Because they had just lost to them 2 weeks ago.
I know. This is the one. If the Bengals had T. Higgins, I think it would be tougher.
But they didn't have him that first game either.
I know.
He was out.
So to me, this is, I mean, I'm going to find out. I'll be watching this one.
On CBS, too.
And it's weird that we're
It's
talking
a must-win for the Ravens.
Okay, and it's weird that we're talking about the Ravens. It's even weirder that we're talking about the Chiefs in this same category, right? Because they're below 500 at this late in the season for the first time in a really, really long time. They basically have to win out if they want to make the playoffs. What is the one thing, Leger? Is there one thing? Is it, the run game not always being there, even though it's gotten better, or injuries?
Yeah.
What is the main thing that has not been right and it's been off with Kansas City?
You know what, Logan? We've been talking about identity a lot up here.
Yep.
What's the Chiefs' identity this year?
I don't know.
What do they do well? And that's the main issue. Another crazy stat for you. Last year they were 11-0 in one-score games.
Yeah.
You know what that equates to? Execution. They out-executed everybody. You know this, Logan. You played the game for a long time. there's a lot of close, tight games, and the team that usually executes better wins. It's been the polar opposite this year. That's why they're 1-6. They have not executed at a high level. So I think when you look at the Chiefs, they have to figure out who they are this year. Like every year, we can always point to what Andy Reid and the Chiefs were. We can't point to anything this year, and that's why they struggled. And when you look at it on offense, it seems like at times, right, on pivotal downs, Mahomes doesn't trust his teammates. He's going to use his mobility to pick up the play. And anytime he leads them in rushing, Logan, they're 0 for it. When the Mahomes has led them in rushing this year in games, they are 0-4. That's not a good stat to have. We just saw Justin Herbert lead the Chargers in rushing, and they were able to pull that game out and win. So when your quarterback is leading you in rushing in multiple games, and you're 0-4, that doesn't bode well for success. And it goes back to what I was saying. On those pivotal third downs, he's like, you know what, I'm going to make a play to keep us in there, instead of trusting his teammates. Now, they let him down last week with a couple of drop passes, but to me, that's been the biggest issue with this team. What are they good at, and what's their identity this year?
Yeah, I'm going to lead with, it catches up to you when it catches up to you. And that's a saying we had in New England about the little things and doing them right, so they don't catch up to you. And I'm going to get compared all the time. We get compared being a New England Patriot, our dynasty, and then the Chiefs dynasty.
Correct.
Brady to Mahomes, heir apparent there. And the Chiefs won a Super Bowl 2 years ago, and they didn't play well in December. They got hot. If you remember, I lost that Super Bowl to them. I was on the 49ers. But they got hot in December. They started winning out at the end of the year. They turned it on. They went on the road in the playoffs, and they earned a lot of respect from me because they beat a lot of guys on the road. But they weren't playing dominant football all year. They weren't playing how the Chiefs have played years past, right? And then last year, they get to the Super Bowl, get blown out. Now this year, these one-score games aren't going their way anymore. They're not dominating people anymore. They're kind of scraping by the last few years, turning it on when they need to. We'll turn it on in the playoffs. We'll turn it on in December. Well, that kind of eventually catches up to you. This season, they have not been able to turn that car on when they need to. I mean, they needed to win the last 2 weeks. That's all I've been hearing. Oh, the Chiefs got to win it. Thanksgiving, I thought they were out. Last week, I thought they still have a chance. So
I think they're cooked.
It's too hard. It's too late to turn that car on. It got too cold out.
Lige said they're cooked. What do you think?
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late. Look, I think they're going to make it close, though. It's hard to bet against them, but it's too late to turn it on.
All right, guys, we certainly appreciate it. Talking about teams that are on the struggle bus. You know who's not on there? I'm going to remind y'all again. The folks in Duval. The Jags ain't on the struggle bus, baby. At least not right now, and I'm going to take it. Okay, make sure you check out the NFL Today Plus. Our crew before kickoff on Sunday. They always have so much fun. Make sure you check them out Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on HQ, and you can also stream them on Paramount Plus as well. All right, coming up ahead on HQ, we are talking CFP. Miami barely squeaked into the playoffs, but our analysts think they could have a chance to win it all. We are making the case for some teams to win the Natty and why they can't coming up.